Hello everyone, I'm Teresa, and if this is the first time you're visiting my channel, please subscribe. I am a makeup artist and fashion lover of all things glam, and my channel will be focusing on makeup tutorials, fashion and beauty, especially for Asian women and women over 40. Today, we're going to talk about some Halloween inspiration. I do more glam makeup, so I'm not kind of, the scary makeup artist kind of person. I'm not really great at doing like ghosts and goblins and like scary makeup, but I do love a good glam beat. So today, of course, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do for Halloween, and that is Barbie. So I've had a love relationship with Barbie since I was a little girl. I am 48 years old, so that was a long time ago, but I still am that little girl at heart. And I think that what Barbie represented to me as a child was just a fantasy, an escape to, be this glamorous, exciting person. But I feel like as I got older, I realized I don't really relate to this Barbie. She's blonde, I don't look like her. And that was really something important to me. I have this book, the Barbie book. This is such a great coffee table book of the history of Barbie. But there's this amazing quote in the back of it. My whole philosophy was that through the doll, a little girl could be anything she wanted to be, by Ruth Handler. So for me, I think Barbie represented that escape. I was a really shy girl, and I just loved how glamorous she was. And as I grew older, from the little girl into an adolescent, I saw that Barbie started to transform. And what really made me happy is that they started making Barbies that looked like me. One of the first Barbies that I really fell in love with was in the 80s. And if you guys are my age, then you will remember Barbie and the Rockers. Now, if you can see the third one in, she's Asian. So this was my first Asian Barbie I bought. Well, maybe I didn't buy it. My parents got it for me, and I was just so excited to have this Barbie. And something that I could look at and think, okay, this looks like me. And I really love that. So today I want to do a Barbie-inspired Halloween look, but for someone maybe who doesn't look like the traditional Barbie. And really, Barbie is just all about who you really want to be and transform yourself. So that is what we're going to do today. And before we get to that, I just want to show you guys a couple of my favorite Barbie dolls because yes, I still collect them. This is going to be the Barbie that is going to inspire the look today. This is my Kimora Lee Simmons Barbie. She's a little badass, isn't she? And she's got a little bit less traditional of the Barbie makeup that you usually would see. But it's still ultra glam, and it's for more of an almond Asian eye. So that's my favorite Barbie and the look that is inspired by today. A couple other ones I wanted to show you guys. This is an Indonesian Barbie, which I love her costume, so glam. And actually her eye makeup is really stunning too. So maybe we can do a hybrid of her eye makeup. And then of course, we've got this rich bitch, Donatella Versace Barbie. And Ferrari Barbie. This one is the Vera Wang Bridal Barbie. Isn't she pretty? So as you can see, this whole world of Barbie is really all about what do you fantasize to be like. So let's talk about eye shape when it comes to Barbie makeup. So traditionally, if we look at Barbie's eye makeup back in the 60s, 50s and 60s, it does have that kind of old Hollywood glam look to it. That's really made for more of a Caucasian eye, a rounder eye, heavy with the eyeliner on top to give kind of that sexy bedroom eye look, and of course the signature blue around her eyes. You see as decades go by that the makeup slightly shifts on Barbie, and I love that with the times they also shifted her makeup and her hair and everything. This one's one of my favorite ones in the book. I love this look. It's ultra glam, and you can see how they've kind of taken the eye makeup and made it a little bit more, it's still kind of an old Hollywood vibe, but they've updated it with the green, and they've got the winged liner look that's really, popular for Barbie looks, which I love to incorporate. So when you're talking about eye shape, doing a Barbie eye on a rounder eye versus an Asian eye or an almond eye or even a monolid, it can be very, very different. But the biggest thing is creating contrast because there's a lot of darkness and depth when it comes to making this eye look. So let's get started. We're gonna start with the eyes. I have some makeup on already from earlier today because I had to be out in the world and didn't want to look horrific. So we're gonna start with the eyes, and then I'm gonna teach you also a couple tricks on if you are like perhaps have had makeup on throughout the day and then you're going out later at night and you don't have time to take the whole thing down. What are some quick and easy ways to just freshen up what you have already done so you don't have to do it all over again? Okay, so this first product I'm going to show you is this one of my favorite products, this Chantecaille Rose de My Eye Lift. Why do I love this? This little doohickey right here is amazing and it feels so good. So you just squeeze one pump out. So I already have a little bit of concealer on, but I just kind of want to refresh because my eyes feel tired and they're a little dried out. And this feels so amazing, honestly, you guys. It feels so good. Just gently kind of pat a little bit over the eye area to kind of rehydrate it, and I just let it sit for a little bit because I'm going to add a little bit more concealer underneath after we do the eyelid makeup. So yeah, it just kind of gives a little hydration and it feels really nice and cooling. It's great for traveling too if you fly a lot. So I actually don't like using eyeshadow primers. They don't really do anything for me. I actually use a concealer as my eyeshadow primer. The reason why I do this is because it creates a nice clean canvas on the eyelids. So if you have any discoloration on the lid, you're starting with just a fresh canvas. I usually do not put foundation around the eye area. It's not really made for the eye area because it's going to migrate and move around too much. Concealer is a more concentrated version of a foundation. So it's going to give something for everything to stick to. If you have oily eyelids, this really helps because there's a barrier in between the eye makeup and your skin so that the oil is not going to cause it to move around and fade during the day. Do I have a favorite concealer? I have different concealers for different things. What I've been using lately is actually this Miley's brightening concealer. I like this little kind of sponge chippy thing. So I'm just going to put a little dab right on my eyelid. I'm just going to brush it from top to bottom. Just a thin layer. You can use your finger if you want to, but I find you get a more even application if you're using a flat brush. So you're just going to be able to cover the whole lid area more thoroughly. And because we want to really work in thin layers, I just kind of, when I'm done, just gently press over my lid. The warmth of your finger kind of just gets off any excess. Okay. So up next, I really like to use a combination of cream shadows and powder shadows. I find that cream shadows are actually easier to blend, and now that I'm getting old and my eyes are wrinkling, cream shadows are more friendly. So you're able to do a little bit more with a cream shadow and get a better pigment from them. So this one I'm going to be using is Beauty for Real. It's a cream eyeshadow called Twilight. Why do they make these things so small on the bottom? I can't read. It's a gorgeous pink, so of course for Barbie. This is going to be the base color. Instead of using the blue, we're gonna go the Kimora Lee way for my Barbie and do pink. I'm just gonna do straight from the applicator. Just put a little bit on the center of my eye. I've never used this product before actually, so it's the first time I'm using it. I got it in my Ipsy Glam bag. Again, you can use your fingers. I like to use a brush because I feel like I have more control with it. And that has really a really nice pigment to it. So let's do the other side. So I'm using this on the lid. When I say the eyelid, that is from your crease bone down to the lash line. So as you can see, I'm not bringing it all the way up. It's just focused on the lower part of my lid. I put a little too much on that other side, so I'm just bringing some of that over here. How we're going to create dimension on my eye is with the use of the colors. So just like when you're wearing clothes, you know, like when you wear black, it makes you look thinner, right? So dark colors make you look thinner. Dark colors on your eye give you contrast and dimension and contouring. Where lighter colors, like, you know, if you wear white, sometimes it can accentuate things that you don't want it to. So same thing with makeup. Anything light is going to make something brighter and stand out more. Something darker is going to make it recede and add contouring and dimension. As I kind of blend upward, I want to diffuse the line so it's not really harsh right there in the middle. So I'm just gently blending that so the line is soft. so it diffuses as it goes upward. All right, so up next, you guys, I just got this palette in my Ipsy BoxyCharm subscription, and it is really stunning. It's the iconic Booming and Gleaming eyeshadow palette. Booming and Gleaming. Oh, pretty, huh? All right. I love how this has a combination of neutrals and shimmers and mattes. So we're going to add some of these in now to create a little bit more definition. Starting in the outer corner of my eye, I'm going to start creating some depth right here. So I'm going to use this dark brown right here, Java. Also, I got these really cute brushes in my Ipsy glam bag, and I really like them. They're from Ace Beauty. Okay, so I start in the outer corner, and I do almost like a diagonal line, and I start angling it upwards. So as you can see, my eyes are starting to slightly hood and droop downwards. So if your eyes are, if you have monolids or hooded eyes or downturned eyes, you always want to start angling in the outer corner your shadow upwards. So this is really going to give the eyes a lift, and this is going to make the biggest difference. As I shade that, it's kind of like I'm almost outlining right here in the outer corner. And you really just want to keep building until you get the desired effect. We want this super glam, so I'm really going in. These eyeshadows are really nice. They're blending really easily on with the cream shadow. And what's really great about layering powder shadow on top of cream shadow is that you're going to get a really long lasting application, so you don't have to worry about touch-ups. This makeup is not going to move. This side is always harder for me. I don't know why. Does anyone else ever have like one side that's not as easy to do? If you do, it's probably better that you start with the eye that's harder for you and then try to get the other side to look like that side. But I didn't do that today. But it's okay, because guess what? There are makeup wipes for that stuff. So again, I'm just taking the outer corner and I'm shading upwards in a diagonal motion. Just give the eye a lift. Okay, so we've got the brown in. I want to add a little bit more depth right here in my outer corner. So I'm going to add just a little bit of this black. It's called Boss Babe. Shading this part of the eye, especially if you have a hooded eye or a downturned eye, is going to really hide that extra saggy skin. Kind of like, you know, when you wear like black skinny jeans. That's what this is going to do. I often place the color with one brush to be precise, and then I blend with a clean brush with nothing else on it, just to really soften any harsh lines. Okay, so there we are. Now I want to do a little bit in the crease. I'm going to use, we're going to use this one, the Mauve Over. Okay. All right. So this, so one thing, if you don't have a strong bridge to your nose, or you have a lot of crease, like a heavy crease in your eye, this does create some nice dimension. I find that Asian eyes often need a little bit more through here to create that contour. So right through here, I'm going to start building the color in, kind of in that socket where the nose comes upward, right through here, and then blending it outward. All right, up next, we're going to do a little highlight underneath the brow. I'm just going to use this Biscotti, this peach color. Biscotti! So this is gonna go right underneath the brow. You just really want to make sure that you're diffusing all the different colors so that it's all blended really nicely. You don't see harsh lines. Because I have so much shimmer on the main part of my lid, a lot of people do like to highlight the brow bone with a shimmer, but because we've already got so much shimmer, I am using a matte underneath the eye. Okay, now we've got the whole base with all the shadows on. It's liner time. My favorite liquid liner is the Stila liquid liner. I just think it's one of the best ones. It's waterproof, it stays all day, it does not smudge, and I like the tip. Now, it does come in a micro tip one too. I don't have that one with me, but there's a double-sided one that I absolutely love. It's a great one to have in your kit. It has this regular point on one side and then like a really, really fine point on the other side, but I don't have that one today, but I love both of them. Okay, so when you're doing your winged liner, I always start with the actual wing first, and you want to look at your eye and decide where do you want that angle based upon your eye shape. Because doing a winged liner on a more round eye or deep set eye is very different than doing a winged liner on an almond shaped eye or a monolid or a hooded eye. Since my eyes are becoming slightly more hooded because the skin is sagging, if I do the liner with my eyes closed, it's not going to look the same way when I open it. It's going to drag down a little bit more. So I really want to do the liner with my eyes open. So I'm looking at my lash line on the bottom, and I'm going to draw the angle from there. Now I want a pretty dramatic wing for this look because we're Barbie, right? So you can see even just looking at that one line how it is going to lift the eye up. Again, we want to lift the liner up. If your eyes aren't hooded or dragging down a little bit, you can draw it out a little bit more straight. It just depends on what look you like. I like mine angled up more because my eyes are drooping. Now, the next part I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line and connect it out here. Okay? And then you're just going to fill in that little triangle space. So there we've got our start of the wing. And it's really about how dramatic you want it to be. I have a lot of eye space. So depending on how much eye space you have is really dependent on how thick your liner should be. So how big your crease is, how deep set your eyes are, and how much eyelid space you have. I have a lot of eyelid space, like a lot of real estate up there, so I can take a thicker liner and it not look crazy. I find that if your eye is more round, doing a really thick liner all the way around isn't going to be complimentary. You want to have it go thin to thicker as you go outward. And that's really kind of the Barbie eye makeup look with that old Hollywood kind of glamour look where you want the kind of sexy bedroom eyes. You're going to get that by filling out the liner thicker through the outer corner. So when I go inward, I'm just going to keep it a little bit thinner. I still feel like this almost disappears, and this happens a lot with Asian eyes and monolids. Like you'll look down, you'll put the eyeliner on, then you open your eyes and you're like, where's the eyeliner? I swear I put all this liner on. So I'm gonna build from the top, not the bottom, because again, if I build from down here and make it thicker, it's gonna drag my eye downward. So I'm gonna start building from the top. What do you guys think? All right. Another thing, if you have a really prominent waterline, like you can see that waterline, I actually like to go in with the liner and kind of fill that in, almost like I'm combing it through my lashes. That's also going to give you more definition. I hate seeing that like white space between your lashes and your liner. Okay, so we're gonna do the other eye. So again, we're gonna take your liner to start with the wing first. So you're going to angle the line upward, following your lower lash line as your guide. And really don't worry about if you mess up like I just did, because we can clean this up later. I'm going to show you how. Okay. And isn't that the struggle, you know, is trying to get the one side to look like the other side. No one's eyes are exactly the same on both sides. So a lot of times with eyeliner, you can correct the symmetry of your eyelids with liner. So you might have to go thinner, a little thinner on one side, a little thicker on one side. But this is a great way to really make your eyes look more symmetrical. So this eye slightly droops a little bit more in the corner right here, so it can create really a weirdness with the wing. So I need to be careful of that and cognizant of my hoodie right here, that little heaviness in the eyelid, okay? So we're gonna draw the triangle now. And that's really why you have to do it with your eye open, because you can see right here where that crease is, where my eye's starting to sag. How if you did it with your eye closed, it's going to look a lot different. So it's really easy to see now where it's going to go. So now I'm going to fill it in. And yes, I need to use a magnifying mirror, you guys. I'm old, I can't see. So don't feel bad if you need to do this too. I can't just stand in my bathroom and do my makeup. Like, I don't know how people do that. I can't see. Now, this eyelid through here, I have less space. So I usually draw the inner liner on this eye a little thinner. So think about that, like really look at your eyes in the mirror to see their symmetry and where you need to correct so that it can look as even as it can. So again, I'm building from the top. Okay, we've got the liner on. So if you've messed up, and that's okay, makeup is easy to fix. My favorite brush is this MAC brush. I've had it forever. I don't even know the number of it anymore because as you can see, it's worn off. She's an old school girl. I mean, I swear I've had this brush for, I don't know, 20 years. Anyway, I think they still make it. It's really thin and flat, and I just kind of take a makeup wipe or micellar water, and I make it really thin and flat, and it's slightly damp, and I take it just like that to clean up any yuckiness. So you're just edging it, almost like a little eraser. So you can get really that line the way you want it to. Okay, so on my eyelid, I want to create kind of like that Barbie like lightness that you always see on her eye makeup. So I'm going to take a nude liner and I'm going to line right on top of the black line. So just until the wing. So you can see now more definition of my actual lid before the crease. Can you guys see that? And now is the fun part. Next up, I'm going to go over that light liner. I just put the nude liner I put on my lid with a little glitter. This is from Half Magic Beauty. And what's really cool about this glitter is that the applicator makes it really easy. So the reason why I did that light too is because this is gonna help it stick. So you're just gonna directly go on top. Kind of let it dry. It's really, really wet. And we're gonna do a couple more layers so it really pops. This is gonna be so pretty when you blink. You're just gonna have all these little sparkles and shimmers. And it's really gonna make your eyes bright. And if you mess up, like let's say you know, you went below the line, and that's okay. You can actually go back over it with your black liquid liner and just kind of, you know, freshen up the line right there. I think it's time for some lashes. All right, so we're gonna use these Ardell Faux Mink lashes. I usually do more of like a demi lash, which are more like these for every day. But I definitely want to glam it up. So these are longer in the center. So it's gonna really open the eyes up and give more of that baby doll wide eye look. These are really long though, so I need to trim them. So let me show you how to do that. If you get some lashes like this, by the way, that are really stuck onto your lash strip thing and you don't want to tear them off, just kind of bend the paper and really pull gently like that so that you grip the whole lash. That way you don't break it. Because sometimes when they're really stiff bands and you try to rip it off and the lash breaks and then you've got multiple pieces and then you wasted a strip and you're like, why did that happen? So anyway, to prevent that from happening, just bend the packaging, and then really get a good grip on it so that it doesn't rip as you're pulling it off. Voila. Okay, so trimming lashes is really important in opening up the eyes, because if you don't trim the lashes and they're too long on your eyes, it can actually make your eye like drag downward. So what I first do is measure the lash strip to my eye shape, and that baby is really long. So as you can see, I need to really trim about that much of the lashes. But I also don't, because of my eye shape. So if you have eyes more like mine that are more almond and or Asian eyes or hooded eyes, to have too many lashes in the inner corner, it can really make the eye look smaller. So I am going to trim enough so that it starts just a little bit further over. So we're going to trim the outward and a little bit in the inside as well. I like to trim with like cuticle scissors or cuticle clippers. Boop, boop, boop. These work amazing. Especially when you have like these really thick band lashes that are hard to cut through. These are really nice. It's like surgery. The other thing too is when you clip it, you want to make sure that you don't have any sharp edges. I don't know if you guys have ever had that like sharp corner from your lashes all night and it's like, it feels horrible. So make sure you get rid of any of the sharp edges. It's still a little long here, so I'm going to take some more of it out. Most people's eyes are not the length of the full lash strip, so that is the nice thing, is that you can really kind of customize your lash strip to your eye shape. It is super important to do that though, because otherwise, like I said, you're going to get really frustrated trying to get it in the right place. Okay, I think we've got it this time, so let's take a look. Yeah, I think that's better. It's not so heavy. So now we got to trim the other guy to look like this guy. So we've got the lashes now cut and trimmed to the eye shape, your eye shape. We're now going to use your adhesive. I like the Duo adhesive in dark. They also come in a white. If you have dark hair in general, I like the dark, but you know, that's where there's choices. I try to put a little extra glue on the corners because those are usually the parts that kind of fly up. Now these bands are really thick, and so because my eye is not really round, I really want to help this kind of lay nicer. So we doing the lash dance where we just kind of curve the lash a little bit more so that I can get it placed on my eye a little bit better, because it's a really stiff lash strip. And also while I'm doing this, I'm letting the adhesive dry a little bit, because if you put this on when it's too wet, it's going to slip and slide all everywhere and make a mess on all the beautiful work we just did on the lid with the shadow and glitter. So we'll wait about 30 seconds for these to dry. So I like to use tweezers to place my lashes. They've now made all these really fancy like doohickeys or whatever for applying lash strips. Don't waste your money. Just use your tweezers, you guys. I have the little slanted ones, so they really grip them easily. Some people like to use fingers. I honestly don't know how you guys do that. So I use tweezers. Again, I'm old and I can't see. So I get my magnifying mirror really close and I'm gonna place it in the center, right above my lashes, as close to the lash line as possible. Remember, you don't want that space in between your lashes and the lash strip because it's gonna look really weird to have that white space. So it's gotta be literally as close as possible. And I just kind of go around it to make sure that it's placed correctly. Okay. And then this guy too. Again, I place it from the center and then I just kind of adjust the placement from there. But as you can see, because I let the adhesive dry down some, it's more tacky and sticky, so it really helps you place it easier. If it's too wet, it's gonna slide around and it's gonna get really frustrating. So this made it really easy. Okay, so I'm gonna fill in my brows a little bit more. I've had my brows tattooed and then I've had my brows microbladed and they're starting to fade, so I definitely want to fill them in a little bit more and have that really nice glam brow for our eye look. So this is a Cella eyebrow pencil. I really like this color for me. I don't even know. This is Dazzling Dark Brown, and I love that it has the little spoolie on the end. You should pick a brow color that is one shade or so lighter than your natural hair color. So I'm not going to do a black eyebrow pencil. It's going to be way too harsh, especially if you're a woman of a certain age. Really dark eyebrows can make you look really old and it's not flattering. So soft brows, not too dark. That's why I'm using a dark brown. And I'm filling in the shape of the brow that's already there. As you can see, my brow gets really sparse through here, and I'm going to use a separate product to create some hairline strokes there. And just kind of comb the color through. I'm just using like really light kind of feathery strokes. I'm not pressing really hard. Again, we don't want it to look too dense. Again, I just start from the bottom and kind of outline the brow. Okay, now to create some little hairline strokes, I really love this Raising Brows. It's like a little pen, like a microblade pen almost. Let me show you the tip. Look at that. So you can really create little hairs with it. So I don't have any right here. So I'm gonna go in and very lightly. So when you're doing this, if you hold it too close up to here, you're gonna create really thick, heavy lines. So pull your hand back, almost like you're holding a pencil. You're not gonna press as hard because you really want light little feathery strokes of hair. All right, so we're gonna go in and draw some little hairs. You don't want the front of the brow to be as dark as the back of the brow. So I just want to create just little baby hairs there. Now we are going back over with the concealer and we're going to clean it all up. And this is why I always wait to do my concealer underneath last, because a lot of times you're going to get shadow fallout or you might mess up, and this will just keep it from having double work. Okay, now that my lash strip has completely dried, I always like to go back over with the liquid liner on top of the lash strip, just like that. It kind of just gives a little bit more of a seamless look so that when you look down, you don't see kind of that reflection of the lash strip. It looks a little more natural. And I also like to just give them a really little quick curl up. Just feels better on my eye there. Especially if you can feel it like in your peripheral, then you should probably curl it up a little bit. Also because it really opens up the eye more, especially if you get those ones right in the inner corner like that. There, that's so much better. A lot of people don't do mascara with fake lashes. I like to do just like a really quick lift right at the base of my lashes just to blend my lashes into the lash strip. So I'm using this Forever Mascara by Billion Dollar Brows. I actually really love this brush. So I'm just going to go right there at the root and kind of just blend them up into the lash strip. I also really like this brush for the bottom lashes, and I have been so into doing mascara on my bottom lashes lately. I don't know why. I never used to do it before, but I found that it really does open my eye shape up more. So we're going to do that because this is a Barbie look and we really want that baby doll look. Do you know how many weird faces people make when they do this? I mean, what does your mascara face look like? Because mine is not cute, or you're going to see it. I dare you to try to do your bottom lashes without making a weird face. Fuck. So hard. I need the magnifying side. I really did a lot of mascara on the bottom lashes because I really wanted them to stand out. So in order to get like a lot of product on the lower lashes, you kind of want to hold the brush vertically and just like kind of almost like you're stippling it onto the lashes to really get a good amount of product. I am then going to line the water line on the bottom with our little nude pencil. I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, do a couple swipes. Now, cheeks. We gotta do some pink. We absolutely gotta do some pink. I'm gonna add a little bronzer first. I've been loving this bronzer stick I got from my Ipsy bag again. This was a couple months ago. This is No Limits Harmony. And I'm just gonna do like a little swipe here, a little swipey there. Okay, I know that doesn't look so cute right now, but you know, we're gonna blend it out. So trust in the process. Okay, so to blend out the nose, you can just take like a fluffy brush, like an eyeshadow brush, and blend this out. So after you blend it out, you just want to kind of check it from side to side so you don't see a super harsh line. All right, now I really love this brush, and I don't even know where I got it. I may have gotten this in my Ipsy bag. This is La Rouche, the flat angle brush. This brush is amazing for contour. So I'm just gonna kind of, you can kind of stipple it or sweep with it, but it just really fits perfectly to the contour of your face. Now my face is wide, so I really like to use a lot of bronzer and contour to kind of narrow my face in. Does that sound right? Narrow my face in. Narrow my face in. Thin my face out. Now remember, you don't want to go below that line. It's going to drag your face down. So just remember to use that bone as your guideline. Yeah, this brush I love. I love, love, love the shape of it. And then, of course, just maybe a little here. I have a really defined jawline, so I don't need a lot of contour down here. But unfortunately, I am getting a little bit
of a double chin right there. So maybe a little extra. I also really like this Dinessa Myricks Yummy Skin Balm. I use this sometimes too for a light contour. It's a little bit less warm, less orangey warm, so it can create a little bit more of a shadow. And so I like to kind of put that right here. Because this Barbie doesn't want a double chin. And then I just kind of go back over it to kind of blend it out. So we've got our bronzer on, and now I am going to use this Patrick Ta blush palette. How pretty! I'm going to use the pink. There's a cream and a powder blush, so we're going to start with the powder first. Now the blush trends have really changed lately. If you've noticed, it goes a lot higher. And if you are really looking for your blush to lift your face and you have a wider face, then you definitely want to, again, angle it upwards in a diagonal motion. This blush is so pretty. You guys see the shimmer in it? Oh, it's so pretty. All right, so next up, I'm going to use a little bit of the cream blush, and I'm going to layer that more right on top of the highest point of my cheekbone. Oh, that is so pretty. What I do really like about cream blush that I never used before because I'm oily, is that I feel like the texture just really looks so much prettier, especially when you've got drier skin or you're getting fine lines and wrinkles. It just gives a really luminous finish to the skin that I love. So cream blush is definitely a new obsession of mine, and I think it's going to be a permanent obsession of mine. And of course, when you layer cream and the powder, just like on your eyes, it's gonna last all night. Okay, now we definitely need some setting powder because I am shiny. My favorite is Laura Mercier translucent powder. So I just put a little bit on the brush. I dust it off on my hand just to get like a kind of nice even application on it. And then I'm gonna go in underneath my eye to set the concealer. I don't use powder everywhere as much anymore. Even though I am still oily, it just accentuates things that I don't like anymore. So I'm very strategic with the placement of the powder. So through the center of the face where my pores are a little larger, and then I like to do a little bit right here underneath the blush and bronzer just to kind of diffuse those lines. And I just kind of gently pat over it. Okay. We need to do our lips now, and then we're all done. Okay, I got this Huda Beauty lip contour pencil in Pinky Brown. How did they know? That's my shade in my Ipsy bag. I am not one for really dark lip colors or bright lip colors, so because I use so much kohl on the rest of my face, I am going to do a slightly softer lip. Now, if you have thinner lips, as you get older, you gotta stay away from darker lip colors, and you really should use a lip liner if you want to really accentuate your lips, because you start losing the collagen in your lips and they start to lose volume. Darker shades, matte shades are gonna make your lips look smaller and thinner. So if you want your lips to look fuller, stay to medium shades or lighter shades, brighter shades, and something with some shine to it. So I love this pencil. It's really creamy. I'm gonna line first, and then I'm gonna fill my whole lip in with the pencil. I usually start at the Cupid's bow, and this is where you can really build out your lip a little bit more to look fuller. Instead of overdrawing your whole lip, which can look really clown-like, we've all seen that. How to make your lips look fuller without looking too overdrawn. So I'm slightly overdrawing right there. But I'm not gonna overdraw as I come down. Same thing on the bottom. I'm gonna slightly overdraw right in the bottom center. And then I'm not going to overdraw on the sides. And now I'm going to fill in my whole lip with the pencil. What this does is it gives my lips a base for it to stay on longer. So as my lipstick and gloss go away, I'm still left with some color on my lips. And I won't have like that ring around so much. You feel me? Okay. I mean, you can leave it like that if you want to do a matte lip, but I like gloss. I'm not gonna do a lipstick with this. I'm just gonna use the lip pencil as the base. And then I'm gonna use this gloss. I honestly don't know if they still make this gloss or not. I just found it. Do you ever do that? You like find something in your makeup kit that you've had for a long time and you forgot about it and you're like, oh my God, I love that. So yeah, I found this last night. It's a buxom gloss. This color is Claire and I really think it's perfect for Barbie. So check this out. Okay, so now I'm gonna get dressed, do my hair, and this Barbie will be right back. Hey guys, Barbie's back. So this is my final look. I was inspired by Kimora's ensemble. So guys, let me know what you think of the tutorial. If you liked it, if you liked the look, if you liked the products, leave me a comment below. Other things you'd like to see, if you thought this tutorial was useful. Happy Halloween. Make sure you click subscribe to follow me for more tutorials and fun, glam stuff and moments. See you guys later.